Last time on Pole House Black Pot Weekend Getaways, we visited a different kind of ranch, the Badlands National Park Wall Drugstore. This week we moved to Custer State Park, where we fixed apple cinnamon biscuits, and we check off two things off our bucket list: Mt Rushmore and Crazy Horse. Well, good morning.
Good morning, everybody. It's
Morning, of course.
nice morning this morning.
It's not cold.
Yeah, a little warmer than it has been here in Custer State Park, but it's cool because we're used to summertime back in Missouri, so I still got my stocking hat on. But we got coffee made. We were drinking on that, and now it's time to make some breakfast.
But before we do that, we got to tell them about last
Yeah,
night.
we
didn't get any
we
video
messed
of
up.
it.
We thought about it. We went to bed. It's like, why didn't we shoot any video? I guess we were worried
We
about.
had a very unwelcome visitor in our camp last night, and it wouldn't leave. We had a skunk.
We would leave, and then he would come back. Then we leave, and then he'd come back.
Well, and you could see lights going on in the other campsites.
Yeah, I
where
think
he'd
we would
go
run him
over
off.
there.
He'd run him off, and
He'd
then
go
run
over
him back.
somebody
right?
else over there. We finally went to bed, so if he wanted to come around here, we wouldn't bother him. I looked on the internet, and it said to get rid of them, or to fix them where they can't come around, pour some vinegar around. We had just a teeny bit of vinegar,
left.
and I poured it, just spread it out. Well, it didn't do squat.
Yeah,
He
came
must
back
have been in camp like 6 times.
Yeah, so we kind of hunkered down over and made not much noise. Then we kind of scared him away and tried to make a lot of noise, staying in a good distance from him. So I don't know what the best way, but if you got any ideas on how to
Get rid of them when they're in your camp.
when you're in the camp, and
please
kind of
let
get
us
rid of
know.
them without getting sprayed wide, let us know. We'd look for all the. We've never experienced that before. Never. Even,
No.
You know, you always talk about bears. You sound mean and scary
Well, it
and run a
depends
bear
on the
off.
type of bear. It depends on the type of bear.
Well, that's right.
But at any rate,
didn't know about
had
skunks,
when I saw him, I thought it was a raccoon, which you have raccoons in your camp all the time.
Time come in at night. It was already dark.
And then I saw the
came in
white
the first
streak
time.
on its face, and it's like,
Uh-oh.
Wade, what do we do?
Whispering to me. So anyway, back to today. We're going to make some breakfast, and we're going to do a recipe that started from a basic biscuit recipe that we made many times, and we made it last year when we did biscuits and gravy.
We'll link that recipe
yeah.
in the description.
And so I started doing alterations to this recipe and come up with several different ones, and this one is actually apple cinnamon biscuits. So it starts with a basic 2-cup recipe, and you can change the amounts, but we're doing a 2-cup recipe of 2 cups of flour, that is. That's the smallest batch that we make, because we're only going to have Angel and I think we're going to take some down to where cousin Adam and Jess are camping, because they're camping at a different campground here in Custer State Park. So we're going to go ahead and get started on that so we can get to eating. So Angel's going to go out of here, and I'm going to come in and get started. So basically, we're starting with a 2-cup biscuit mix, which is really handy. Like, we've done this many times, and we showed this on video before. Mix this up at home, bring it This has your basic biscuit, which is 2 cups of flour, some baking powder, salt, and that's it. So then all we have to do is mix your milk and your oil to it, and you've got a biscuit. But for the cinnamon biscuit, we added a little bit of sugar and a little bit of cinnamon to it to make it cinnamon biscuit. So we're going to go ahead and I'm going to get me a wooden spoon, and I'm going to get this added in here.
You forgot something
Get it
here.
stirred up.
Kind of hard to have apple cinnamon.
We're going to have to get the apples. I'll get started on this and then we'll get some apples going. You don't want to cut up apples too far at a time because it'll start turning brown. So I'm going to give this a light mix and then we'll... yeah, it'd probably be better if we peel it. So, alright, get that going. And we're going to cut up 1 apple. Really fine dice because that way it gets fairly good and done. We want real crunchy apple in our apple cinnamon biscuits. So, now this is a really good, you can do this without apple and it's very good that way. And we've had one variation, didn't we, Angel? We actually took this and added, instead of apple, we added red hot candy. And that was pretty good too. That's kind of interesting.
Yeah,
so that's another variation you can try of this same recipe. So we're going to chop an apple up and diced it fine, and then we'll be right back with the rest of getting this mixed up. Okay, thank you, Angel.
You're welcome.
Cutting up my apples. Going to add the apples.
Now, why are you adding the apples to dry ingredients?
Well, it seems like if you go ahead and add them to the dry and they kind of get the dry coating on them first, they mix in more evenly than put them in after you try to put the wet and then they kind of get blobbed in one spot. So that's why. A lot of times I do that if they're going to add raisins or something too. And you could do that. You could change this recipe up. You could put raisins in and have cinnamon raisin biscuits. Wouldn't be a problem at all. Okay, now we're ready for the wet ingredients. And we got to have, I got evaporated milk, and it's 2/3 of a cup. And I'm just going to go ahead and add the 1/3 because this is, don't hurt to mix it together. All going to be mixed up when we get done. Not real level here, so I'll have to kind of hopefully get level enough to get it. And it's 1/3 cup of oil. And just a splash of vanilla. And pour this in. Okay, now that your biscuits are mixed up, you don't want to mix any more, of course, like I said a second ago. And now it's time to put them in the Dutch oven. And we're going to use a 10-inch Dutch oven. And we're going to put a little spray in it because we have some sugar in here. It may need a little bit of help.
So we can get them out.
Yeah, there we go. And we just empty out our biscuit mix into the Dutch oven. Let me get a little spatula and get all the thing we can off of here. And we'll spread them out even as we can in the bottom. And then I'll get my trusty fingers out. The best way to spread these out is just get your fingers in there.
And they are clean. He washed them
dirty
this morning.
And just pat them down. Even as you can, so you get an even cooking process. Okay, there we go. And the last thing, got one more ingredient to add, but I think first I'm going to go ahead and kind of score these so they're easier to come out.
I don't see it.
When they get done. I have smaller ones in there too, so we have every size. Okay, one more ingredient.
2.
And that's it. As soon as the charcoal was ready, we'll get these baking. So we'll be right back. Okay, charcoal is ready. Biscuits are ready to be baked. So let's see here. I have my tongs, and we're doing a 10-inch deep. So 10-inch, we're going to do about 24 pieces of charcoal. Gives us a pretty good 375-degree oven. Let's do one stuck down in here. And we're going to do like we always do. We're going to put some around the bottom. And we're going to use about 8 on the bottom. And the rest on top. Because we need a little more heat on top because we're doing a deep Dutch oven. So you got to have a little more headspace there, and we need to get that heat. And if you had a shallow one, you can try to get by just a little less charcoal. And then on top, we're going to do a nice even layer. Keep some in here for the center. About 4 in the center seems to work pretty good. Maybe we'll get a good even checkerboard style. There we go. Shrapnel in there. We'll use it too. Okay, that should do it. We'll set the timer for 10 minutes and then we'll be back and do a regular rotate. Alright, it's been about 30 minutes. Let's check and see if our biscuits are ready.
I smell them.
They should be done.
Smell the apple and the cinnamon. Oh yeah. Look at that.
Pretty good, don't they?
Yeah, they do.
Let them cool for just a few minutes and then we'll come back and
Taste them.
taste them. That's right.
Well, I'm hungry.
Me too. Biscuits are ready. Figure we better have some protein with all of our biscuits, so had a couple eggs too. Guess we better try them, see if they're good.
Oh,
I'm using my fingers on my biscuit.
oh yeah, that's good.
So
Well-
nice and soft and fluffy, aren't they?
Yeah, they are. You need to make this kind of biscuit next time.
They're not
you go
real sweet.
camping.
Just a little bit of sugar in there sweetens them up, and that cinnamon. Apple gives it a different texture. So, yeah, when you're out and want to make a fancy biscuit, homemade,
These are good cold fried.
try this
too.
recipe. So, if you have any other crazy kind of biscuit recipes that you've tried, other than just a plain biscuit, send us a
Comment.
comment on the page, and then we'll see if
And
we can.
give us a comment on how to get rid of skunks.
Yeah,
Too. Don't forget that.
when they're in camp with you and you don't want to,
At night and you don't want to go to bed.
or you don't want to run for the camper. So,
Make you mad.
all right, we'll see you later for some more adventures. Good morning.
Morning. We got company back in the back.
Say hi.
There's Adam and Jess, Wade's cousin and his wife.
And we're getting ready to head out to Mt Rushmore.
So we'll see you when we get there.
We're on our way.
Oh, wow. Well,
we're in this alleyway, whatever they call it, of all 50 states.
and a few territories like Guam and that. But we're standing right in front of
We're
Missouri.
in front of Missouri,
There's the plaque.
back from Missouri. 1821, the 24th state admitted to the Union.
And then look up, there's our flag.
Back up, your flag. Meaning of Mount Rushmore. The 4 American presidents carved into the granite of Mount Rushmore were chosen by the sculptor to commemorate the founding, growth, preservation, and development of the United States. They symbolize the principles of liberty and freedom in which the nation was founded. Four presidents were Boris George Washington, Thomas Jefferson, Abraham Lincoln,
Sorry, I'm too
Selfie.
busy looking.
Sun's in our eyes, but we want to get Mount Rushmore behind us. A couple interesting facts. What does it say? That each face is 60 feet tall, and their noses are over 20 feet long.
Wow. These guys are amazing. Mom, you were wrong. This is cool.
Hood Tunnel. Whoops.
One lane tunnel there.
One paying attention. All right. Now we're paying attention. Hood Tunnel.
Now, hopefully they are.
Not a very long tunnel, is it?
No. I like this rock wall over here.
Yeah, to keep people from getting carried away and fall off the edge of it.
Well, it's awful straight down, dear.
Motorcycles use it. This is actually a 1/300 scale model of Crazy Horse Memorial, which is right out the window. And it says here by the sculptor, sorry if I mispronounced this, Korczak Zukowski. Sculptor carved this in 1946. And he says, quote by him, Crazy Horse Memorial is to be carved not so much as a linear likeness, but more as a memorial to the spirit of Crazy Horse and his people, with his left hand thrown out, pointing in answer to the diverse question asked by the white man. Where are your hands now? He replied, where are your lands now? He replied, my lands are where my dead lie buried. Korczak lived from 1908 to 1982.
The plans for Crazy Horse Memorial started out as a mountain that needed to be carved. It is now more about the history of Native Americans, and on this property they have museums of the personal collection of the Boardmans. They also have a college that has been built recently. There are also many beautiful, intricate displays of Native American art, like this covering for this horse. Those are beads that are handmade.
Black Hills Nature Gates. It says 270 sculptures made out of bronze.
One of the most important things to remember about the Crazy Horse Memorial is everything you see here was built by donation. There is no government money in the building of this property, and it probably won't be finished until my great-grandchildren are old.
Memorial. See, this memorial was placed in tribute to the innocent victims of the horrible first responders of the tragic events of 9/11, 2001.
If you enjoyed this video, please like, subscribe, and share. We thank you for watching.
Okay, push this down. Okay, now it's opened up. Can you see it?
Next time on Black Pot Week Getaways, we take a walk on the beautiful Sylvan Lake. We take a drive on the Needles Highway. And we spend the day with Jess and Adam. And we also say goodbye. And finally, we fix 2 Halloween favorite dips, s'more dip and fruit cheese dip.